This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this edition of High School Hockey here in Fort Wayne, Indiana on SummitCitySports.com. It's the Fort Wayne Vipers against the Leo Lions going at it here on court number 3 at the Parkview Sport 1 Ice House. I'm Thad Goff along with Joe Hacker. Fort Wayne Vipers playing their first league game of the year. Same can be said of the Leo Lions. We had Homestead versus Carroll for our first game. Homestead won that one 6-2, and now potentially a good matchup between Leo and the Vipers.
Yeah, we'll see how this one goes. You know, the Vipers swept the season series last year, but being a team that was formed together from 3 teams, you know, they were able to pick pretty much whoever they wanted, and that results in a lot of their players graduating last year. They picked a lot of older players for their team, so lots of seniors last year and a lot of seniors this year, so we'll see how that works for them. They definitely lost a lot, but they still, one of the good things about that is they still have a lot of good players here, the Vipers. You know, they lost their starting goalie, Connor McKinnon, their captain, Hayden Scott, their other captain, Thomas Zemansky, and someone like Carter Minch, but they also still return a lot of good players on defense, like Carter Knoblau. Trevor McKinnon is back, Austin Ormsey is back, Austin Reisner is back, and they still have, they basically had 2 number 1 goalies last year, the other being Steven Yeiser, he's back. So Fort Wayne, the Vipers still got a lot of really high-quality players this year to work with, especially in that forward group, and it looks like they got a nice supplement of younger players here, just checking them out in warm-ups. As for the Leo Lions, you know, this is still a team that's probably on the younger side of things. You know, last year wasn't really a great year for them, but 1-1 to start this season. They beat Riley 2-0, who's traditionally a pretty good team, but lost to Valpo a couple weeks ago, 5-2. Some of the guys that they lost last year, they lost a big guy on the defensive end for them, Eric Stratton. Their captain, Tyler Grossman, who was one of the top scorers in the league last year and leading scorer for their team, he's gone. But they return who I think is probably top 3, if not top 1 or 2 defensemen in the league, and that's Parker Ray. He's probably going to be their captain this year. He's been a great defenseman for them all 3 years he's been here so far, and I think he's going to take his game to a new level here. In his 4th year, he's going to have to be an absolute horse for them. He's going to play a lot of big minutes in a lot of key situations. Another guy on defense that's going to have to help out for them and probably be their number 2 guy is Brady Scholl. He's a big guy. This is his senior year as well. And then on the goaltending side of things, they still have their starting goaltender back from last year, and Isaac Morrell, 2nd team All-City last year, so he's going to look to build upon that. He knows these Viper guys pretty well, some of them especially from the year that he played with the Summit City Panthers before that team blended with the Vipers. So definitely a lot of storylines to look for here. You know, the Vipers also, you know, they're a talented team, but I'd say They probably had a little bit more of an underwhelming year last year than what they wanted. I just don't think the team chemistry was great. You know, that's going to happen when you blend three teams together that have been playing against each other for years. So I think if they can make that team chemistry a little bit better this year, they have a really good shot to achieve some great things. You know, they have the talent to hang with just about anybody in the league. And, you know, for Leo, I think it's a lot about, you know, continuing to grow these young players, building off of last year, and seeing what can happen.
Well, we'll get in a word from a few of our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. Today's game is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. Tom Steel Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area from ages 5 to 18. Our players are equipped with the elite level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board, and together we can reach the summit. We'll get into word from some more of those sponsors as the night goes on, but we are now underway from the Parkview Sport One Ice House in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Vipers had it briefly, but now the Lions come away with the puck. Here comes Robinson down the line. Little backhand feed, I believe that was to Parker Ray, and the shot by Aaron Amick wouldn't go.
Leo apparently has come ready to play, which you love to see. They're going to have to get on it early, and they're going to have to be fast on the Vipers. Make the team uncomfortable here to start. And if they can capitalize on one of these opportunities here early, that's going to be a really good start for this team.
Puck goes behind the net. Amick chases it down. Puck still loose, and now the Vipers go after it. Right in front of the net, the shot taken away. And back down the ice comes McKinley. McKinley loses the puck, and the Lions will corral it, or will they? Yes, they do. Player gets tripped up along the boards. I think that was Desmond Fiedler, I beg your pardon. One of the top returning players for this Fort Wayne Viper team is Austin Reasoner. He had 4 goals and 10 assists a year ago. And here's a shot that goes wide of the net. It's deflected from Canablo, and the puck gets loose. Owen Park with some good defense there. Puck is knocked along the boards, deflected by a couple of different Viper players. Redman could not control the puck there for Leo. Back down the other way comes Darcy Cook. Puck gets knocked away. Here's Reasoner. Skates around. He's right in front of the blue line. His shot from the point gets deflected. Player gets tripped, and that's going to be a whistle, and we'll see if this sends somebody to the penalty box. It might send Blake Ridge there, and indeed it is Ridge.
Yeah, a pretty obvious trip there by Ridge, and he'll sit 2 for that one. And an early power play opportunity here for Leo to capitalize on some of this momentum that they started building here with the hot start early.
Face-off comes to the left of to the right of the goal, I should say. To the left of the goalkeeper, Steven Yeiser. And now they get the penalty information up there on the scoreboard, so the puck is dropped. So the first power play of the game goes in Leo's favor. Lions with the puck behind the net. Puck gets knocked away. And that one goes into the Vipers bench. Shot that trickles away from the goal. Shot deflected, goes off the glass.
Great effort there by Backstrom to get that puck out.
That's Parker Ray who chases down the loose puck for the Lions. And coming from behind there is number 27, Nathan Wolf. That one goes along the boards. Right in front of the net, there's a chance, and that puck did not go in. Jared McKinley had about as good a chance as you could ask for.
Yeah, he's going to see that one in his nightmares tonight. We'll take a look at this one here. You see this puck, Morrell doesn't really handle it very well and just pops right out in front there for McKinley. He gets the handle on it, but just not quite able to get it home. I think Morrell might have been able to get back just quick enough to kind of slow up his stick, maybe interfere with the stick a little bit so that he couldn't get that puck in there. But, wow, I mean, that's about as easy as it's going to come.
Well, a moment ago, Trevor McKinnon had a little more difficult shot there. It went back, and now the Lions are going to take over. Puck gets deflected, and a whistle blows.
Pretty solid penalty kill here so far for the Vipers. Just 12 seconds left, and Leo really hasn't had much of an opportunity there. And you saw that Jared McKinley opportunity there for the Vipers, and McKinnon with a decent look there off the faceoff following that. So penalty kills, this is a theme we saw in the Homestead Carroll game. Is the penalty kills looking pretty strong right now. That's what I expect out of the Vipers. I think they have some very good personnel for the penalty killing unit. So we'll see how that continues through the rest of the year.
Faceoff from center ice, and Roth lost his footing there. Check that. That was not Roth. That was Dakota Carter. Landon Roth is number 33. Puck along the boards, and it's cleared out. Leo gets it back, and they get it across center ice. Right across the blue line. Shot deflected. Christian Redmond couldn't put it in. Good little deflection there by Steven Yeiser. Redmond trying to come up with it again, but the Vipers get the puck instead, at least for a little while. We are back at even strength, by the way. The penalty, or the power play, I should say, is over. A little slap shot by Redmond that's poked away by Yeiser. Along the red line, poked out. Here's Reisner. Shot, initially saved, but poked out. And Leo does prevent the goal in the end. Park slings it up the ice. There's Blake Ridge going after it, one of the multiple guys in red going after the puck. The shot from the point, saved initially by Yeiser. Still a chance, though, perhaps. But there's Vipers all around the puck. From the point, and that one goes wide. Got 9 minutes to go in the first period. Puck right in front of the net. Here's a chance. A slap shot deflected. Well, backhand pass. Now, this is a long trip for the Vipers defense, trying to keep Leo from getting the puck in the net. They prevent the goal again. Well, backhand pass. Leo still with a chance, perhaps. Jack Backstrom, the backhand pass across center ice. Here comes Roth down the side. Goes behind the net. He's cut off. Well, Leo has really controlled the possession these last couple minutes.
Yeah, they've done a great job pinning the Vipers in their zone. Vipers with some kind of sloppy clearing attempts has not helped them, but the Lions, with a lot of great pressure here early at 5-on-5 play.
Parker Ray there forces McKinley away from the net, and Scully comes up with a loose puck. That's Michael Scully, a freshman, and looks like we're going to get an icing call on the Vipers.
Like I mentioned there a second ago about the Vipers with some kind of sloppy clearing attempts, just instances you saw with Backstrom here at the top of the circles near the end of that pressure there from the Lions. Just kind of like a little bit of a blind backhander, and it didn't help that he didn't catch all of it, but it goes right to a Leo player. So those kinds of things are just not efficient. Take a second and make a better play.
Well, Vipers get slowed down as they get the puck across center ice. Brady Scholl trying to control things for the Lions. But here's Michael Scully with the puck. Runs into a guy at the blue line. And they'll get it across center ice. Perhaps a chance here for Spear. A little backhand shot there by McKinnon would not go. And a big hit there by Scholl into the board. Scully sends it across the blue line. Ray ran into McKinley there on the way past the blue line. And now here come the Vipers again. Well, 3-on-2 perhaps. The shot saved. Scully couldn't backhand it in. Backward pass. Send it back to Keaton Rice. Had a guy right in front of the net. That was Spear, John Spear. Shot from the point, no good by Jackson Bertels. And whistles will blow as Isaac Morrell covers up the puck.
All right, one thing I want to look at here really quick. I've been mentioning patience with the puck. So you see that puck bounces right out there for that Vipers player. He can turn around and just whip that shot on net, but he doesn't do that. He takes a second, collects the puck, looks for his man at the top, looks for his D-man, passes it to him. That D-man skates to the middle, and they get a better opportunity with the guy in front. Missed the mark just a little bit, but getting shots from the top of the point like that and having patience with the puck is going to pay off.
There's a takeaway right in front of the net, and eventually Yeiser comes up with the save.
Another point I want to make really quick. The goaltender down here for Leo, Isaac Morrell, on some of these plays, it looks like he might be getting a little bit too aggressive on his slide. Some of these shots that are coming on his left side, he's getting a little bit too slidey, almost getting out of position if the rebounds were to bounce out to his right, which they haven't so far. But he's leaving his crease a little bit, and he's leaving like 2/3 of the net open on that side with his slides coming across. So just something to watch for.
Ridge trying to clear it from the board. Well, Leo had a long possession in the Vipers zone not long ago. They look to do the same thing here, but now here's a chance perhaps for Canablo. He gets slowed down. Reasoner trying to come up with it. His shot looked like it was deflected. A good defensive play there by the Lions. That shot went right off, I think, of Fiedler, who wasn't quite looking. Check that, it actually went off of Reasoner. And now Ridge will grab the puck. Little backhand pass, a little flip pass, in fact, by Reasoner. Bertels, the shot. No good. Puck gets poked across center ice. And it's going to be chased down by Christian Brown. Gross, the shot. Going to be scooped up by Isaac Morrell.
So a good 3-on-2 opportunity right there for the Vipers. But so you see what happens here as this play develops. So he's got the guy high right here, and he's got the guy going to the net. He kind of runs out of racetrack here, and the Leo defenseman does a good job. But I would like to see him try and get that puck to that higher guy in the slot for maybe a one-timer, or just hold that puck, catch the goalie off guard. Morell's probably going to drop and put that one up top rather than trying to force a cross pass that's probably not going to get through two Leo defenders. Or blocked by Morell with the poke check.
Here come the Lions the other way. Poked away from Logan Robison. McKinley sends it back the other way.
That's a terrible call.
And whistles will blow.
All right, yeah, so we'll take a look at this one. It's going to be a penalty on Jared McKinley unless I'm looking at the wrong thing. So you see here, chips the puck in, and he kind of gives him a little bit of a cross check, I guess, right there. It doesn't really impede the player at all, but they're going to send him for that one. So not exactly a great call there, but nonetheless, it'll be another power play opportunity here in the first period for Leo to try and get out in front.
Just a minor comment. I'm not really sure the Andy Griffith theme song comes to mind when a power play happens, and yet it was just playing here in the arena. Here's Logan Robison across center ice, splits a couple defenders, puck gets tipped in the air, and then Robison goes down, and we might get a tripping call here. It was Robison who was tripped. Maybe we're not going to get a call. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the right player. I thought this would go to number 11.
Yeah, that's McKinnon who's going into the penalty box.
Yeah, so we'll back this up one more time here and try and get a closer look at what happened. So, yeah, it looks like McKinnon is the player who's still standing up. He's not the player that dives. I thought they would call a dive on that player there for the Vipers.
That one was close. The Ice are able to save it.
Well, they're going to give that one to McKinnon, who was the guy coming across the top. Must have given him a little bit of a shove, and that's what's probably going to get him, I believe, an interference penalty. And a very long 5-on-3.
This one's going to go all the way to the other end. Dakota Carter leaves it off behind the net. Back down the ice comes Robinson. Robinson, hard hit in the board. Delivered by Jackson Bertels. That's a freshman delivering a big blow. Little backhand shot wouldn't go. Well, in about 50 seconds, Jared McKinley will be able to come back in the game. His power play will be over at that point. Leo trying to take advantage of this power play, though. A 5-on-3 advantage, and that shot did not go. Or did it? Nope, it didn't.
A great shot block there by Ian Scott right in the slot just before that opportunity there. Knocks that puck away, and then somehow that one on Yeiser stayed out. It looked like it had all kinds of daylight to slide right underneath Yeiser's leg. So a great job by him there to keep that one out and preserve the 0-0 tie.
Puck gets knocked away. And this puck will go all the way to the end of the ice. Back down the ice comes Roth. This is Weston Roth. He's a sophomore. About 10 seconds left in McKinley's power play. We're now down to about 30 seconds left in McKinnon's power play. Well, now McKinley's power play is over, and he comes straight back onto the ice. They're not going to sub anyone in for him, as we've got less than 2 minutes to play in the first period.
A good hold here so far by the Vipers. They've done a good job killing this one off, and now they got about 5 seconds left, so pretty successful PK here for the Vipers.
Landon Roth right down the board, and now both power plays have come to an end. The teams are both at full strength. The shot by Bertels, or rather Nathan Wolf, would not go, and now we get a hit after the whistle. Nathan Wolf went down. Shot delivered by McKinley. But I think it's going to be just, looks like a timeout, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think they called a hand pass maybe. I think that's what I saw the official gesture. So it'll just be a face-off out here in the neutral zone. But McKinley avoided what would have been a big hit from Park. He had no idea he was coming, kind of saved by the whistle there.
And I think this will be an icing call. And we'll come back to the other end of the ice. .4 left to play in the first period. Shot deflected by Yeiser. And back across the ice comes Jackson Bertels. Up to Shull. Goes off his stick. Coming down the ice is Robert Gross. Gets past a couple defenders, but couldn't get a clean shot, and we're going to get a whistle.
I think we're going to get a cross-checking penalty here on one of the Leo defenders. We'll take a look at it here in the SummitCitySports.com replay. So come down here, you see this first defender right there. Right, I don't know how well you can see there on your screen, but gives him a little bit of a cross-check, and he's going to sit 2 for that one.
Got 10 seconds to play in this first period. No score between the Lions and the Vipers. They fling it up ahead looking for Robison, and they're not going to get any kind of shot off before this clock runs out. Well, no score at the end of the first period, and we'll have about 1:49 left in the power play when the second period starts back after this on Summit City Sports.
Excited about the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think, that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them. And they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football. So it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Second period comes your way with a scoreless game here between the Fort Wayne Vipers and the Leo Lions. And don't forget, we got plenty of high school sports action coming up this weekend. We've got football, we've got volleyball. I will be at cross country at Huntington on Saturday, but before that I'll be in Peru for football on Friday night. And Joe, I can't remember where you're going for high school football this week.
I'll actually be making my play-by-play debut for the New Haven Southside game, so should be a good one.
Feed it up ahead to McKinley. McKinley's shot wouldn't go. And there's Canablo. Shot doesn't go. That one doesn't go, but the putback does. That's McKinley.
All day.
He had a miss earlier on one that was a golden opportunity, but this time he didn't miss at all.
Nope, completely left alone. You'll see here he starts this play, misses that opportunity there. Puck comes around, and he just left completely unattended here. You'll see him skate down here. Parker Ray goes to take care of that other guy in front of the net, and no one goes to cover McKinley. He's got the entire net and oceans of time to just bury that one. And he's broken the seal, and he'll put his team up 1-0 here early.
Battle for the puck, and it's going to be won eventually by Dakota Carter. Back over to Reasoner. Reasoner trying to get it across center ice. Kind of ran into Christian Redmond there. Here's a chance, and it's covered up by Morrell.
And one thing to note about that goal here is it's a power play goal there for McKinley. So 4 players on the ice. That's probably part of the reason of why McKinley was left completely unattended there in front of the net. So power play now 1-for-1 for the Vipers.
Leo comes up with the puck. Here's Redmond. Little backhand pass there by Robert Gross. The shot. Oh, little kick save there by Yeiser.
Owen Park right there on that little opportunity, showing some hands there. So he's going to be another player with that big body. He's going to have to step up offensively for this Leo team. He's also going to have to provide some of that physical spark. Look for him to be a big player. He's another older guy.
And whistles will blow here.
One thing I was telling Thad here in the intermission is I've been pretty impressed with the Leo Lions so far to this point. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of expecting the Vipers to have the edge in this one, and it's been extremely even. I'd say Leo potentially, not on the scoreboard, but maybe in terms of ice tilt, has probably had the advantage. So a lot of these young guys showing out pretty well. A lot of their players have continued to make improvements since they joined the league a few years ago. And so it definitely bodes well for their future here in Fort Wayne.
Puck is along the board. That shot gets deflected by a couple of white jerseys. Back behind the net, right in front of the net is McKinley, and his shot is saved. Pass goes a little bit wide, looking for Bertels. There's Weston Roth. Had the little backhand pass, and now back the other way come the Vipers with John Spear. Spear slows down. A little wraparound shot. The putback by McKinnon wouldn't go. They're looking for Keaton Rice, and Rice trying to chase it down, but there with him the whole way is Wolf. One goes past Amick, and looks like we're going to get an icing call. Faceoff will come to Isaac Morrell's right shoulder side. Behind the net. Blake Ridge chases down the puck. And they get it up ahead to Darcy Cook. Puck is recovered by Scott. Ray comes up with it. Now he'll try to go the other way. Good job staying on him as far as on the part of Darcy Cook. Here comes Robinson, trying to get past the defender. Goes around the net. Oh, big hit there on the board. That puck goes a little bit wide. Looking for Ian Scott. Scott will chase it down. Or check that was Ray who chased it down. Get it back to Canablo. One goes off the board. A little backhand shot that wouldn't go from Blake Ridge. Here comes Logan Robinson trying to get past the defender. Knocked away. Maddox nipping with it behind the net. A shot from the point, that's saved. Another shot from the point and another save.
So one thing I noticed on that sequence there is with the way that the Leo Lions got possession of the puck in the first place on that rush was Blake Ridge gets that puck at the point. Now there was a little miscommunication with his forward, but he gets this puck and he's got to make a quick decision. So he picks it up on his forehand, but he tries to throw a backhand blind pass right into the slot, straight onto the stick of Robinson, and then trying to get the puck out here again, gets it off of rebound, doesn't look, and just turns and throws it right out, this time right to a Leo defender. So you got to be taking a look, know where your teammates are, and don't rush decisions. You have more time than you think, but less than you like.
Pass is knocked away from Park. Vipers trying to get something going the other way. They do lead it 1-0 off the Jared McKinley goal that came here in this second period. Gross couldn't handle it, and it's taken away by Redmond. A little slow down stop there by Redmond. And now the Vipers try to go the other way, but I think that was Owen Park who got in the way of the puck. Scully chases down the puck. Park lost it. Another recovery by the Vipers. That was Spencer DeGroot. Come right back down the ice. It's going to go all the way behind the net. The puck gets deflected, and it's going to be saved. That shot wouldn't go. Jadaquis Scott couldn't put it home. Right in front of the net, there's a chance. Here's Ray. His shot gets deflected. It goes past Ray. It's going to go all the way to the other end of the ice, and that'll be an icing call.
Way to get in the shooting lane there by the Vipers. Spencer DeGroot blocking that shot. And unfortunately, the puck comes all the way down for an icing, so they don't get much out of it. But the right idea there. Some good defense here from the Vipers. You know, the Lions have had the puck here for the last couple of minutes, but they haven't really gotten high danger chances. You know, a lot of these shots have been coming from the outside.
Back the other way come the Vipers. Christian Brown trying to control the puck. It's Riesener who had a chance at it, but now the Lions look like they're going to take it the other way, and it'll change hands again. 7 minutes to go in this second period. Only goal of the game came here in this second period. It was Jared McKinley who scored it for the Vipers. And a putback chance, that's a goal. Aaron Amick. And Leo has tied the game. The sophomore puts it home.
You know, there's a similar play to the Vipers thing is you get guys to the front of the net, you know, puck comes right to them, and they're kind of left all alone. Now, Yeiser almost recovers here. I thought he actually was going to make that save, reaching his arm across, but just not long enough to cover all the way to the post, and that goal goes right on in for Amick, and we're a tie game here.
And Parker Ray gets this one across the blue line. Logan Robinson and Dylan Davis get credit for the assists on that one. And that one goes off the stick of Bertels. Maybe a chance here for the Lions, but that was the Vipers pushing down the ice. In the Lions zone, by the way. That shot by Backstrom wouldn't go. Right in front of the net, there was a chance as Gross was trying to poke it in, and that one's going to be saved by Morrell. Now here come the Lions back the other way with Christian Redmond. Against three defenders, his shot too high. That's deflected. Redmond goes after it, gets the puck back. And now the Vipers looking to push the other way. Here goes McKinley. Leaves it back to McKinnon. McKinnon shot, it's a goal. McKinnon scores, McKinley the assist.
Yep, really well done there by the Vipers. So an underrated thing that gets this play started is a McKinley gets that stick in the passing lane really early on in this play as a Leo defenseman was charging in. But I mentioned it earlier, looking for the high player in the slot in an odd man rush. They do it right there, and Trevor McKinnon is not going to miss from there. A great play by him to put his team right back up in front and answer almost immediately. McKinnon and McKinley definitely developing some good chemistry so far here this year, and I think a lot of that has to do with some of the experience they got playing together last year.
Back the other way comes Schilb. And for McKinley, he's now got both a goal and an assist in the game tonight.
He's been pretty impressive, making a lot of the right plays on both ends of the ice.
Puck is loose behind the net. Goes over the net. Was it knocked in? Does not look like it. There were a number of hopeful fans to our right thinking that might have gone in.
Yeah, and it nearly did. This is a dangerous one because it kind of starts rolling over the net, as you'll see here. It's an unpredictable one, so Geyser's kind of just got to lay down and just hope that it falls and bounces off of him in the right way, and it looks like it did. So lucky one there. That's one of those fluky plays that can almost come back to bite you, but they got a lucky break there, and it's still 2-1.
Face-off won by the Vipers. Little backhand shot right in front of the goal. And Nipper sends it back along the board. Behind the net, that was Landon Roth who comes up with the puck, but now here come the Vipers. It's poked away from behind. We have a player go down. It was Rice, but he's back up on his feet. Christian Brown takes a check into the board. Behind the net, they got a chance. Puck gets poked forward. Rice has it deflected by Amick. And that one goes under the stick of Darcy Cook as we are approaching the 3-minute mark in the second period. Lions come back the other way. The shot, that's wide. Knoblow puts it along the board. That one goes off the skate of, looked like off the skate of Redman. Ridge with a long pass to the opposite board. It's going to be recovered by Park with 2.5 to go in this second period. Little tap save there by Steven Yeiser. Long shot by Gross, and that's nowhere near the net. And now we're going to get a whistle on the save by Morrell.
Good job there by Morrell to smother that rebound. You saw McKinley going to the net, hunting for his second one tonight. So Morrell right on top of that one. McKinley almost got a stick on it. Looked like he might have whiffed on his first chance, but he's doing the right things there, McKinley and Morrell, both of them. So we got a power line out here now for the Vipers. Look for them to get some good chances right here.
Puck along the board, flipped out. McKinley going for it. A takeaway by McKinnon. A slap shot from the blue line. That shot taken by DeGroot. And it looks like another save for Morrell.
Yeah, and there's actually going to be a penalty called here on Leo. I think it might be a check from behind. We'll have to wait and see. But we'll get a look at it here on the replay. It's going to happen over on this far side wall. We'll watch the play develop a little bit. See here, McKinnon goes for this puck. And then that Leo defender, his back turns, hits him in the numbers. So that's going to be a penalty.
It was Parker Ray who went to the box.
It looks like there's a Vipers player potentially in the box, maybe getting some medical attention or something. Not sure what's going on there, but just something to look at and point out.
There have not been a whole lot of power plays in this second period. In fact, this might be the first one if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is the first one, complete opposite of our earlier game.
In the second period of that game, we had, 6, 7 penalties in all? Somewhere around those numbers. And now Block takes it along the board as we approach the final minute of this first period. Of course, part of this power play will bleed in to the third period. And by the way, it was Parker Ray who was penalized there, so he'll have to sit out this next, what now stands at a minute 26. Well, here's a chance, a little backhand shot by Amick. That would have been his second goal of the game, but it did not go. Here comes McKinnon the other way. McKinnon leaves it in front. Back out to Knobloch. The puck gets cleared away from the boards. It's out to DeGroot, and he finds McKinley. Right in front of the net, there's a chance. Reasoner, and he puts it in. Austin Reasoner. Certainly not an easy shot, but he adds to the Vipers' lead.
Yeah, the Vipers, I think that's all 3 of their goals that have just come right around this high danger area around the net. Now you see DeGroot here, McKinley with this shot. Nice little tip there originally by Reasoner. Throws Morrell off, can't control that rebound, and Reasoner's got a pretty easy shot there. He's got a lot of the net and some time. Took him a second to get it under control, but fire that one up there, and he's a goal scorer, and that's a goal scorer's goal right there.
We've got 23.3 seconds left to play. Puck is dropped. Here comes Nipper. A shot. Oh, that came close to going in. Yeiser had to stick with it quite a bit before he finally knocked it away, and we get a whistle here. Oh, now a fight starts. The official is there to break it up, though. Well, they're still jawing at it. John Spear and Brady Shull, they're both going to the penalty box. We'll see if either one of these guys, or should I say if both of these guys get assessed a 5-minute major.
I think I might have heard the official yell about giving someone to a 10-minute penalty. Whichever one of the Leo players was kind of getting restrained by the linesman and still talking. Looks like Redmond is that other one. So
it was Shull who went into the box for Leo.
Yeah, it looks like 2 players are going for Leo and 1 for the Vipers. So the Vipers might be getting a power play out of this. They're now 2 for 2 on the power play after getting a power play goal to start the period, and then that last goal there was also a power play goal.
We've got 5.5 seconds left. The officials are still trying to confer with the guys at the scorer's table, let them know what the call here is.
I would imagine we'd have probably an unsportsmanlike and maybe a pair of roughings. I didn't exactly see the incident, but would have to guess based on the fact that it sounds like a little bit of a extracurriculars broke out.
5.5 to go. It's a 3-1 lead for the Vipers. They got they've actually outscored the Lions 3-1 here in the second period. That's when all the goal scoring has come. And to think up until those couple of penalties that we had just a second ago, we had a fairly clean period going.
Yeah, a fairly clean game in general, you know. I mean, there were the 3 early penalties to the Vipers, but since then, just one Leo penalty at the end of the last period, and then that penalty to Ray that the Vipers just converted on, and now we got these two. So
officials are still discussing with the scorers table, letting them know what the calls are going to be.
A lot of the conversation here is with these captains for Leo, so you'd have to assume that there might be something a little bit more for one of their players that they're trying to dispute. We'll see what happens here.
Well, one of the penalties is going to be assessed on Christian Rebman. He's going to get a 2-minute minor. Get the official word here in just a matter of moments.
So I'm going to assume that there are probably 2-minute minors for all three of these players, and then Spear and then penalty to Ray just washed out. And so that's how we got the Vipers power play here.
Shot right before the period ends. It doesn't go. Ian Scott took the shot there, and that is the end of the second period. And before we go to our next break, we'll get in a word from some more of our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. A system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca Mexican recipes are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. Our specialized sports medicine team offers direct access to physical therapy and sports physicians in the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic located at the Sport 1 Parkview Fieldhouse. No referral is needed, which saves you both time and money. Visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more. So the first two periods are in the books. One more period to go. We'll be right back after this break on SummitCitySports.com.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill. His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more. Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
Well, we are at the second intermission here at Parkview Sport One Ice House. The Fort Wayne Vipers lead the Leo Lions by a score of 3-1. It was a scoreless first period, but then there in the second period, that's when all the scoring took place.
Yeah, especially there in the last half of that period. You know, the McKinley goal, the power play goal at the beginning of the period, stood as the lone tally for a long time there. But once we hit about the 5 or 6 minute mark in that game, it really started to pick up. We had that Leo goal answering back, and then almost immediately after that, McKinnon took the lead back, and Reasoner with a little bit of an exclamation point there with the power play goal at the end of the period. And look for the Vipers to potentially get another one. They got 1:54 left on this power play when they come out here. So power play has been clicking so far at 2 for 2. And they're going to have oceans of time here to convert another one with potentially Leo's best defenseman off the ice for the full 2 minutes in Parker Ray.
He'll be off the ice about 1:54, I should say, when we come back for the start of the second period. His penalty came just 5 seconds before the period ended, so that'll bleed over into the second.
Yeah, and the Vipers will have a fresh sheet of ice to work with on that power play, so hopefully this will dry a little bit out for them so the puck doesn't stick. And they're going to have no issues with any sort of ice on the puck down or whatnot. So they should come out and just get right to their power play setup and get into their business. You know, I'm sure that's something that they've been working on in their time, knowing some of their coaches, and it's looked pretty solid, pretty refined so far. Like I said, 2 for 2. So definitely another opportunity here to kind of get a little bit more separation for the Vipers to go up 4-1 early in the third period. I think that'd be a pretty big goal.
Well, it's been a fairly clean game for the most part, aside from the couple of penalties we had there in the second period. But for the most part, pretty clean. Not a whole lot of penalties. Not a whole lot of guys in the penalty box.
Yeah, like I said, there's just those 4 penalties there that were in the first period. And then, you know, up until the last 2 minutes of the last period, it was all 5-on-5 action, just back and forth which, that's the way the game is meant to be played. The refs have been pretty good tonight so far, I think, and hopefully that continues here. Hopefully there isn't too much animosity built up. Everyone, I think, will have cooler heads prevail after a little bit of extracurricular stuff that went on there at the end of that period that got those 3 guys sent to the penalty box. But we'll have to wait and see. It's a long season, so hopefully they don't get too much animosity too fast, because they play each other 4 more times after this.
Well, it won't be long before the teams get back on the ice. Before we go to our next break, we'll go ahead and get in a word from our sponsors here at SummitCitySports.com. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. 3-1 the score at the second intermission. 1 more period to play, as the Fort Wayne Vipers and the Leo Lions each look to get to 1-0 in regular season, or in league play, I should say. We will see which one accomplishes that goal as the night goes on. Back after this break on Summit City Sports. Back here at Parkview Sport 1 Ice House, it's 3-1, the Fort Wayne Vipers in favor of the Leo Lions. Lions are just coming back out of the locker room. It looks like they'll probably head onto the ice shortly for a little third period warm-up, and Fort Wayne Vipers will probably be doing the same as well. Well, what's coming up here at the Parkview Sport 1 Ice House? Well, next week we'll have the Fort Wayne Vipers against Carroll and Homestead taking on Leo. Following week, it'll be Leo versus Carroll and the Vipers taking on Homestead, and also some upcoming events. November 6th through 8th is Summit City Crossover Weekend. Veterans Night is Wednesday, November 11th. That's 3 weeks from now. Wednesday, November 25th, that's 2 weeks after Veterans Night, is Youth Hockey Night. So those are some of the various events coming up here at the Parkview Sport 1 Ice House.
Yep, the Summit City Classic coming up here in just a couple of short weeks. We'll get a lot of these crossover games for some of these teams, out-of-conference games for the Vipers and all these teams here. A bunch of teams going to be coming into town for some games. Should be a great time. Hopefully we can cover a couple of those if we get the opportunity. But either way, it should be a great weekend of hockey. And any fans in the Fort Wayne area that want to come out, I highly encourage it. There's going to be hockey on probably all 3 rinks pretty much every day, Saturday and Sunday, and a couple of games Friday night. Should be a great event, and always good competition comes out to Fort Wayne for this tournament.
And now both teams are indeed out on the ice. We'll get one more break in, and then we'll come back for the start of the third period. You're watching high school hockey on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Well, we are just about ready to start the third period. A 3-1 lead for the Vipers over the Lions. All the goals coming in the second period. Puck is dropped, and Reasoner had it for a moment. And now it's McKinnon who comes up with the puck. He slows it down just a little bit past the blue line. And back over to Canablo. In close quarters, that shot would not go, and Leo had a chance to take over, and now here's Robinson trying to get the puck, but couldn't come away with it. Gross across the blue line, leaves it back for McKinnon. His pass goes back to Knobloch, and his pass deflected. He had Reasoner there between a group of 3 defenders. Not sure if he was trying to get the puck to him or maybe take the shot on the net. McKinley chases down the puck. It's knocked away from him beyond the blue line all the way to the end line.
Some great patience here from the Vipers, moving the puck around, waiting for their opportunity. Not a huge sense of urgency, but they're going to try and look to get some more shots here when they get this puck back in. But so far doing exactly what I would have wanted them to do, and not panicking with it and just getting right into their setup and making the right passes.
A little change in direction there by Backstrom. And he comes across the blue line, tries to get past the defender. He does get past him, but he's in a tough spot to take the shot. Back to DeGroot, right at the blue line. Gets it over to Bertels, and the shot would not go. Shot deflected and cleared out of there by Roth. Parker Ray with the puck. Up to Roth. Weston Roth across center ice, gets it across the blue line. They pull the goalie, but the whistles blow and stop play.
Well, that power play expired for the Vipers without any serious scoring chances, but Redmond's going to go straight back to the penalty box, and I think they're going to get another opportunity right here to make up for that, and hopefully they come out here this time with a little bit more of a sense of urgency. You can make the right passes and all that, but at some point you still do have to shoot the puck, and I think they were just a little bit too slow to do that in the last one, which was probably the problem. You know, you have that shot from Knoblau at the top of the point that gets knocked away. You know, that's the right idea. Just didn't get through that time. So more stuff like that, maybe some shots from the sides, and it looks like this is going to be a 2 and a 10 penalty for Redmond, as in a Leo Lion teammate is going to join him in the penalty box.
We'll have the face-off just past the blue line. That shot gets deflected. McKinley comes up with the puck. Back to Knobloch. And now Ray with a backhand pass. Knobloch going to chase it down.
Good vision there by McKinnon to spot McKinley on the far side. Pass got intercepted, but to be able to see that play, that'll be open.
McKinley. Gets it up to McKinnon. Makes a move to the inside as the puck knocked away. And Knobloch went for it, and tripping there was Ray.
Yeah, I think McKinnon's going to get a holding penalty here. Kind of slammed him down a little bit on the ice. We'll see if we can catch this in the replay. But that'll even those power plays on. We'll play 4-on-4 for 1:09 before Lee will take over on the power play for a little bit. Yeah, so you see the play right there at the bottom of your screen. McKinnon gets kind of a headlock there on Ray and takes him down, so that'll be a penalty.
4-on-4 here as they bring the puck to the Leo blue line. Back to DeGroot. He backtracks across the Viper blue line. It's 2 minutes for holding as the penalty on McKinley. Backstrom behind the net. They fling this one across center ice. And that's going to go all the way to the board, and it'll be an icing call. We'll have the face-off to the left of the goal, and DeGroot, or rather Bertels, had it for a brief moment. Tried to leave it for Backstrom in front of the net. And that puck is taken away. Here comes Robison down the ice for the Lions. He loses the puck. That shot goes a little high in about 15 seconds. Christian Repman will be finished with his penalty. And a near takeaway there by DeGroot. And now Redmond is finished with his penalty in about 45 seconds. Trevor McKinnon will be finished with his penalty. So 5-on-4 advantage for the Lions. Parker Ray comes up with a puck. Shot deflected. Nipper sends it along the board. And now McKinnon's penalty is over. There's a goal. Right as the power play ends, Parker Ray finds the net. And just like that, Leo is within one.
Yeah, just a shot on the ice. It looks like he kind of handcuffed Geyser. Just wasn't properly positioned. Comes to Ray, just a quick shot, and might have potentially gotten tipped off of a teammate. I don't know. Based on the angle, it looked like that one might have been a little bit funky. But that's just looking at it on the replay. So 3-2 game now, a lot closer, and that one will technically count as a power play goal as well.
We'll get the announcement. The shot looked like it was taken by Ray. See if one of his teammates might have tipped it in. Carter had the face-off there for a moment. And here's Carter Knobloch down the board. He trips.
And that one will be a penalty, so what was a clean game is now being cracked down a little bit once again.
That's Dakota Carter who goes into the penalty box. That pass is knocked away by Park. Just got the announcement there. Max Schilb was credited for that goal earlier. Parker Ray with the assist. And here's DeGroot with the shot. That goes wide. Behind the net, there's Reasoner. That puck gets flung along the board. Actually, it got caught up in the ceiling, caught up in the rafters under the ceiling. And that's essentially a dead play.
Yep, that one will be knocked down here. And the second unit will come on for the Vipers. The first unit unable to get it, the primary scoring chances that they're looking for there. So second unit will come out with the minute here to go in this power play.
Back to Scott. His shot deflected. That almost went in for an own goal. Right in front of the net, the shot. Oh, little save there by Isaac Morrell, and it's cleared out by the Lions. Actually went off the official. DeGroot comes up with a puck. We've got less than 8 minutes to play, and Carter's power play will be over in about 30 seconds.
A couple of really good scoring chances there, especially that one right off the rip there with Ian Scott doing a great job following up that initial shot he had and almost finding the rebound.
Right in front of the net, but it's cleared out by Robinson. A backhand shot doesn't go. That puck just gets flung down the ice. And now the power play comes to an end. Loose puck sent back across center ice by Weston Roth. Back the other way comes Nippen. The puck gets deflected. McKinnon has it. And Roth takes it away. Roth right behind the net. The wraparound, no good. Back to Nippen. Nippen, the shot right in front of the net. And the Vipers clear it out. And that'll be icing on the Vipers. 6:37 left to go.
Take a quick look back at that shot from Ian Scott here on this power play. Right off the faceoff. One thing that the Vipers are doing on the power play that's a little unconventional, at least in high school, is on each unit they're using one forward and playing him in a defensive spot on the power play. That's something you see a lot of NHL teams doing, but not typically something in high school. Jared McKinley playing defense on the power play on the first unit, and Ian Scott there who made that play playing defense on the second unit. And you see his forward instincts kind of kicking in there, skating that puck down the wall, taking that shot, and then continuing to follow it and have a nose for the net, and almost burying that rebound.
Parker Ray trying to chase down the loose puck. Both he and Knobloch are going for it, as is McKinnon. Ray sends it off the board. And now the goal comes loose, so they'll have to stop play and get that fixed. Well, basically take a quick break while they do that. Looks like they're just about to get the goal back in place.
Yeah, 3-2 game here, 5:50 left to go in the third period. Leo's going to need to get their goal here quick. They're starting to run out of time. They got some chances here going on right now, but they're going to have to really put the pedal to the metal here.
Right off the face-off, here's Andrew Baumert. Check that. I think that was actually Landon Roth. Baumert is a goalie. Puck gets loose behind the net. Right in front of the net, Robinson had a chance. Chased down by Carter. Saved by the Lions. Up ahead to Robinson. Robinson. To Dylan Davis, and Davis has it taken away. The Vipers come back the other way. This is Cook. Davis has it poked away. Ray had it swatted away. And Cook sends it back the other way. That possession, it looked like the Vipers were basically trying to keep Leo from having any clean chances at a goal. Puck gets loose, and it's taken away by Scully. Scully down the board. And back the other way come the Lions. This is Landon Roth. And that pass, or shot, I should say, goes wide. About 4 minutes to play in regulation. Gross comes up with the puck. McKinnon loses the puck, and then Knobloch sends it along the board. Not sure how that didn't go into the protective netting there. One goes right under the stick of Ridge. That goes wide of the net.
As we get closer to the end of this game, just a little over 3 minutes left. Look for the Leo Lions to potentially pull Isaac Morrell here in maybe about a minute or so.
Whistles blow as they're coming behind McKinnon.
Some good back and forth action here the last couple of minutes, but Fort Wayne has done a pretty good job on the forecheck, kind of trying to break up passing plays, and that's helped them get a little bit more zone time here and disrupt these Leo breakouts. So the Vipers have continued to not let up here despite having the 1-goal lead. You know, they're looking for this win here on opening night and to continue their streak and make it 6-0 for their team, their organizational history against the Leo Lions.
Puck gets poked away, and here's Shull across center ice. That one goes off the skate of Backstrom. McKinley across center ice, and his shot goes wide. Here's a chance as Park slows it down. McKinley going for it. So is Carter. Puck gets loose. And now we've got less than 2 minutes to play. A couple player goes down, and a couple of players go down again. Ref's just about to blow the whistle, and now he does. I think that was Redmond who went down initially. Check that. That's Park, Owen Park, and he's going to the penalty box.
Yeah, he's going to get a cross-check. We'll get a look at it here on the replay. So this comes immediately following a chance for the Vipers. One thing I wanted to point out about this is that this opportunity happens. You see this battle kind of happening along the wall here. What separates this play, you see McKinley there use his body to get positioning there to win that puck battle and make that play. And there you see Park taken down. I believe that was Spear. And so that's where we got the power play from. And it looks like the Lions or someone has taken the timeout.
Well, that will take one with them here on SummitCitySports.com.
Empowered Sports Club, Fort Wayne's premier multi-sport facility and home to Empowered Volleyball Academy. With the deepest and most experienced coaching staff in the region, we have had a 100% college recruiting success rate for the last 6 years. Be sure to register for upcoming tryouts at our regular location and our new satellite program, Empowered OBC. If you're looking for a place where you can not only play volleyball, but call home, look no further than Empowered.
Back here for the third period. Fort Wayne Vipers lead at 3-2. The only goal in this period belongs to the Lions. Max Schilb scoring off the assist from Parker Ray. We've got 1:04 to go. The Lions are going to need one more goal in this next minute 54 to at least force overtime.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult. They're on the power play here, and the Vipers' power plays look pretty good. So, you know, if the Vipers, even if the Lions, get the chance to get the puck out, maybe look to see them pull the goaltender, but I wouldn't be so sure given the fact that the Lions are on the PK here.
They shoot that one all the way down to the other end. McKinley is going to come get it. Sends it to the far side for McKinnon. Here's Reesner. Over to Canablo. The shot deflected. And the puck gets knocked away across center ice. We got about a minute to go in regulation. Still 1:08 in the power play. I believe if we were to go to overtime, the remaining time would bleed in. The remaining time on the power play, that is, would bleed into the overtime period. Here's McKinley. Davis trying to corral the puck. Here's Reesner. McKinley lost the puck. Back over to McKinnon. McKinnon has it deflected by Robison, and chasing it down is DeGroot. Now down to 20 seconds left. Vipers trying to keep control. They have so far, down to 14 seconds. Reesner. Puck gets away from him. That'll allow more time to tick off the clock. Leo needs to hurry. They fling the puck down the ice, and that'll be a harmless fling in the end. The Fort Wayne Vipers win this one 3-2.
Yeah, just a good game from them. You know, you saw them get out ahead earlier with that 1-0 lead. And, you know, they really just continued to keep the pressure on. It got close, got a little scary for them there with that 1-1 tie. But when they scored those 2 goals there to close out the third period, I think that's really where they kind of set themselves apart. You know, it was going to be tough for Leo to come all the way back from that. You know, I just don't think they really have the offensive capability to do that against a team like the Vipers that could always potentially just get one right back. So, but nonetheless, a much closer game than I think a good number of people were expecting, and a good showing from Leo here, and a good showing as well from the Vipers. I think there are a lot of positives to take away from both teams, and I look forward to seeing what these guys can do for the next 14 weeks here in the regular season.
Well, before we go, we'll get in one more word from our sponsors at Parkview Sports Medicine here on Summit City Sports. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes with specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injury. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. So that's going to do it from here at Parkview Sport One Ice House. For Joe Hacker and our camera operator, Hunter Sossenheimer, this is Thad Goff saying so long. Once again, the Fort Wayne Vipers defeat the Leo Lions 3-2.